Welcome to Adelaide, host city for the 11th Special Olympics Australia National Games. We're very excited to be hosting the Games and we look forward to meeting you from the 16th to the 20th of April, and particularly as a NAB Game Changer volunteer.
Welcome. As a NAB volunteer Game Changer, you hold the key to the success of the 11th Special Olympics Australia National Games. Through your efforts, time and dedication that allows athletes like me the opportunity to shine, to showcase our persistence, determination, skill and sportsmanship. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for making a difference. And thank you for getting involved. Because change doesn't come from the sidelines.
Thank you for your time to complete our induction video. This video will provide an oversight into Special Olympics Australia and in particular your role as an NAB Game Changer volunteer at the 2018 National Games. Volunteers are the cornerstone of Special Olympics globally, and we would not be here today without the support of the volunteers who support us week in, week out, year by year.
The Special Olympics is a fantastic organisation because it provides an opportunity for athletes to feel included, to have a place of belonging and to demonstrate their ability, not their disability.
The Special Olympics means so much, not only for the athletes but for all the mum and dads in the stand. If you can see the smiles on their kids' faces as they're competing, and it doesn't matter if they win, lose or draw, those moments are always cherished.
It makes me cry, even talking about it, to watch Amy, to see how far she's come, to watch these athletes every day. It's awe-inspiring.
Special Olympics is family, it is support, it is caring, it is everything that a person needs.
It's all about the joy of their ability and actually just doing their personal best, and it's beautiful.
My goal is to get a PB.
Win any medal. Without Special Olympics, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things that I can do now, like play sport, and now I have a lot more confidence.
Tears, happiness, it has been very emotional.
At Special Olympics Australia, we create accessible sports training, coaching and competition pathways so that people with an intellectual disability can reach their personal best in sport and in life.
It all began with Eunice Kennedy, President John F. Kennedy's sister, when she invited children with an intellectual disability into her backyard to play sport. Special Olympics Australia commenced in 1976 and we now support more than 8,300 athletes across Australian clubs.
I want to briefly introduce some very important philosophies, policies and procedures Special Olympics Australia work to and expects of all our team, including volunteers. They can all be found on our website www.specialolympics.com.au. Special Olympics Australia is committed to safeguarding and promoting the welfare of children, young people and vulnerable adults who participate as athletes in our programs. All athletes who participate in Special Olympics Australia activities have the right to feel safe and to participate in an environment where they are protected from any form of abuse. Abuse may take many forms and includes verbal, physical, emotional, and sexual abuse and neglect. We take this responsibility to safeguard athletes seriously, and we recognize that safeguarding athletes is everyone's responsibility. As an organization, we have put in place a number of initiatives that we require you to be familiar with and support during your time with Special Olympics Australia. Safeguarding children and vulnerable adults. Police clearances, member protection, code of conduct, complaints and allegations handling. Any and all incidents of concern, injury, near miss, accident. Your venue manager will have all the relevant forms and processes for you to follow. Social media. In particular, taking photos and images of athletes. We do not post, upload, forward or use any image, name or identifier of an athlete in a way in any medium without their express written approval. This is a privacy and security issue, and you will not know which athlete has or hasn't provided this to the Games Organizing Committee prior to the Games. Sound smart? Complaints handling policy, work health and safety. Your first responsibility is for your own health and safety. Do not undertake any task you do not feel safe, sufficiently trained for, or you believe exposes you to risk. Contact your venue manager as soon as practicable in this event and follow their direction.
I'd like to talk about our Code of Conduct. Special Olympics Australia has a Code of Conduct that everyone involved in Special Olympics is required to abide by, as coaches, players, team members, officials, volunteers, families and supporters. The Code of Conduct details how to behave, what is acceptable and what is ethically appropriate. The Code of Conduct demonstrates the professional commitment required by all individuals involved in Special Olympics Australia. Any breach of our Code of Conduct, our social media or member protection policy may result in your accreditation being withdrawn, meaning you will not be allowed to take any further part in the Games.
At Special Olympics, we support people with an intellectual disability. So, what is an intellectual disability? How do I support someone living with an intellectual disability? Well, we have lots of very informative and helpful tips on our website. But right now, I'm going to share with you some of these tips. Intellectual disability is a term used to describe a person with reduced ability to understand new or complex information and to learn and apply new skills. People with an intellectual disability all have the capacity to learn. They just learn differently and require varying levels of support. Almost 600,000 Australians have an intellectual disability, and every 2 hours another child is diagnosed. This makes them the largest disability group in Australia. Intellectual disability knows no boundaries. It cuts across the lines of racial, ethnic, educational, social and economic backgrounds, and it can occur in any family. Special Olympics Australia understands that words can be demeaning to people with a disability, so we prefer to focus on the individual, their gifts and accomplishments. When writing or speaking about intellectual disability, use words to portray each person with individuality and dignity. Always put the person first. Refer to individuals, person or people with an intellectual disability rather than intellectually disabled people or the intellectually disabled. Words to use and not to use. Do not use the word unfortunately when talking about people with an intellectual disability. Disability does not have to be life-defining in a negative way. A person has an intellectual disability rather than is suffering from or afflicted with or a victim of intellectual disability. In Australia, the words mental retardation and spastic are not appropriate. Adults are an integral part of Special Olympics, and it is important to respect the age. Distinguish between adults and children to avoid using the word kids. Refer to participants in Special Olympics as Special Olympics athletes, rather than Special Olympians or Special Olympic athletes. Do not preface Special Olympics with the word "the". This implies that Special Olympics is a single event rather than a year-round ongoing program of sports, training and competition. Try not to sensationalize the accomplishments of people with a disability. While achievements should be recognized, people in the disability rights movement have identified the negative impact of excessive praise. Encourage people with an intellectual disability to tell their own story.
So, what next? Firstly, read through the policies and procedures that we've outlined today on the website. Secondly, consider any questions you may have and forward those through to the email address you've already received. Thirdly, visit the registration website and using the registration confirmation number that you receive via email, update your information to indicate that you've completed the induction process. Thank you for your time today, and thank you again for making the decision to be a NAB Game Changer volunteer for the 11th Special Olympics Australian National Games this April. Change doesn't happen from the sidelines.